welcome back. We're going to start looking at floor plans and how you can do that in Tinkercad. It's very, very quick. This is how plans used to be done, drawn by hand. And so we can do something like that very, very quickly and in 3D, which is fabulous, very, very easy. So put that back in the library. I have here a basic block shape, and I've just offered it to sit as comfortably on the work plane as possible. I'm going to click on a corner and I can see that it's 150 millimeters by 110 millimeters. Now, if we're doing a floor plan of your house or of your bedroom or what it is, think about the scale, and then we're going to have some parameters around what the wall thickness will be like and what the floor will be like. So we need to take a couple of things into consideration here. So it was 150 long, so if I go 148, that's 2 millimeters short lengthwise. What I'll get then is a 1 millimeter wall. And if I was 110, then what I can do is typing the figures in here is much more accurate. 108. So now I have to make the walls, I can obviously group these two, the solid shape minus the negative shape. Just one thing that I need to be careful of is I just need to raise it up a little bit as well so that I can include a floor. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to raise the floor up by a couple of millimeters. That looks as though it's 3 millimeters. So what I can do is go to the top view, and what I'll do is I will use the Align tool by selecting both the shapes, go to the Align tool, and that gives me these handles here to align the two shapes. So those are now aligned together. While they're selected, I'm also going to group them. And what we'll have will be our floor plan with a 1 millimeter wall all the way around. I'm going to just centralize that onto the work plane. And now I can begin to add doors, and you can go ahead and add windows. So let's have a look at bringing in a front door. So I'm going to put a front door in here somewhere. And so I'm going to drag something that will work for a door. So it's going to kind of cut a space. I'm going to be approximate. It's going to cut a space through the wall. I'm going to change the size of that a little bit. But first of all, I want to look at it from a front view. And I'm going to change the width. So for a wall, I'm going to want it to be about 10 millimeters. I'm also going to grab this arrow here and I'm going to go up 2 millimeters so that it allows for the floor space as well. I'm not worried about the second floor, putting a floor on that at the moment, but if I select everything in that drawing and then group this, then it's going to cut out a door for me. Great. So I now have a door showing, and you can do the same thing with internal walls. So if I go to having a look on the inside of, here's a quick trick. If I hold down the Control key, I can rotate, and then click and drag the mouse. I can rotate very easily and very quickly. So if I want to build a wall, here we go. Let's drag a box shape again. Again, approximately, add it over to here. And again, my wall shape, I want to be 1 millimeter. And let's say that this wall stretches out, say about 40 millimeters. And so there's my wall. I can add another wall this way, and I can add a door into that wall in the same way. Okay, that's the basics. Begin to use the shapes to build your house, either the house you live in at the moment or one of your dreams. Later on, we could get on to working on adding a roof, but at the moment we're working just on ideas here. The OMSI Hangout space has got some interesting things that you can add into your house. A little thing to be aware of here is that sometimes in Tinkercad these shapes are locked, the size is locked. So what happens is if I drag a bench into my work plane, that's all well and good. I get this here in the properties saying that the scaling is locked, which is a little bit of a shame, but here it is. So now I've got a bench that is the size of a house, but you might be able to find some of these items that fit. One of the things that you will be able to find if you have a search around also in the shape generators, all the shape generators, there's some great little things in there for you to play with. You would scroll down to the bottom and you can see at the bottom there are further shapes that are already made for you to drag and drop and put into your design. So for example, if I change this tab, here I've got my basic space. I could use curvy walls if I wanted. There's a tree that also looks as though it's the wrong scale. Here's a light that looks like the wrong scale, but here's some stairs. They could be useful. We could work around that. So have a go, a floor plan using Tinkercad.